All right, let's talk about this new XXL 2023 freshman list. So I think we can all agree that XXL, ever since like 2016, even 2017, 18, I don't even remember those lists, but I just feel like, again, there were more good rappers that were actually influencing the game, whereas I feel like we're kind of in a not dead period. There are good rappers coming out, but they really aren't shifting music as a whole outside of the genre or whatever. It's kind of just like cookie cutter rappers over and over. Now, on this list specifically, there are a couple who are standouts and one that did not take the list. I think that she rejected it, if you know who I'm talking about. But other than that, like, it makes me and a lot of the people on social media feel like they are out of touch, when in reality, I think just XXL might be a little bit out of touch. But at the same time, again, it's not like they have too many resources to even pick through. Like, who else would they really put on the XXL list that would actually take it? Because the whole brand at this point is kind of burnt out, in the sense that because of social media, artists don't really need it. If you're blowing up online on Instagram, TikTok, and whatever, XXL is the one. They're like labels. They're reaching out to you to put you on the list so they can get clout off your name. And it's kind of like a risk for these artists to be associated with a lot of these artists that they very well might not even know, or that their fans might not know. Granted, of course, it's like a good look, the XXL freshman, no matter how like irrelevant or out of touch they get, it's still going to get a lot of eyeballs, just because people like to troll it, clown it, or say that it's a good list. And we're never going to reach that 2016 level ever again, in my opinion, because again, that year was just golden. We had Uzi, Lil Yachty, 21 Savage, Kodak, all on the same list. And then 2017 was decent too, with X and Cardi and Ugly God and etc, etc. So again, I can't really blame XXL for having like a trash list. And I don't even know if this is really a trash list, just because I don't really know many of these artists, and I know a lot of the hip-hop fans don't either. It's kind of like very segregated fan bases. As we talked about last year, they weren't going to put both Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson on the same list. One, because Lone wasn't as big just yet. Ken Carson, I definitely think, was on that level, but I think that the strategy behind XXL is that they want to get a rapper from each like subgenre or sector of hip hop, so they can get as many eyeballs as possible. If you put on every single rapper from like the people that we listen to on this channel, like, it's only gonna get this audience. Now, it would be a super fire list, and I think that this subgenre is one of the more engaged, so it would still sell well or get a lot of eyeballs and be reshared and whatever, but they're already getting shared online, because it's almost like no publicity is bad publicity, because they could literally put a piece of garbage or shit on the cover and it would still get spread online because people will still be trolling, and they're still selling copies. Actually, I don't really know who's even buying magazines anymore, just because everything's digital, but I'm not in their finances, so I have no idea. But let's get into the actual list for 2023 XXL freshman. So as you can see, there's some big names on there, like Central C, who that was kind of like a shoe-in. We knew that he was going to be on the list just because he's been blowing up. He had the Lyrical Lemonade music video, and then in the UK, he's one of the biggest rappers, if not the biggest rapper currently. Now, as I was kind of alluding to earlier, Ice Spice easily would have been on this list, but I think she's so big at this point, having Billboard hits, and so does Central C. But Ice Spice, you know what I mean, her brand, like, she's with Nicki Minaj and all the female rappers who are really big, like Cardi B, are co-signing her. She even had a song with Taylor Swift, who is probably one of the top 5 or 10 biggest artists on the planet, undeniably, just streaming wise. And so of course she's not gonna be associating herself on this list to give everybody else her clout, which she does not need from everybody else. When you're a big artist, you're trying to get bigger and bigger looks. She would literally be giving XXL the look. But in addition to Central C and Ice Spice, I was looking at beats by Pierre Bourne. Now, I don't know if Pierre Bourne would necessarily be justified to be on the 2023 XXL list, but after T-Lot 4 and T-Lot 5, I think he would have been a great contender to be on there. That was like his peak music. But to basically deny him from being on XXL for so long, and then now just put him on the beat so that everybody else could rap on his cipher, is just outright disrespectful, if you ask me. And I understand that Pierre Bourne is a bigger producer than he is artist, but again, he really isn't working with too many people producer wise right now as he was like a couple years back. So I don't understand why you wouldn't have put him as like the main producer or beats by Pierre Bourne again 2-3 years ago. But anyway, a couple of other artists on here that were solid picks, at least if we're talking like numbers. La Tyler, he's been blowing up a lot in the last year or so because of his affiliation with BandLab, making songs off of his phone. And I think he's like 16 years old, so it's kind of like he's an anomaly, even though a lot of rappers do start at that age. But to become that successful at this age is a whole nother thing. We also got Glorilla, who also blew up in the last year or two, so she was an easy pick as well. And I know a couple of these other rappers, not really much about them, but I know their names, like Real Boston Richie, Sleazy World Go, Friday, Too Rare. I really just think that's the point of what XXL Freshman is trying to do. Instead of basically picking people who are already big, they're trying to spotlight some of these artists who may not have a look from the rest of hip hop. They just have like their own fan base and space. The one artist we do have from our little subgenre is DC the Don, so that's a good look for him. Good work. He's putting on for like the more alternative type rap, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but I have no idea who the Lola Brooke is. I think I've seen Rob 49 around, but overall, if we're just talking about like the actual quality of music for this XXL list, I don't see where they're going with it. I think they should just get rid of it, to be honest. I think they should just maybe spotlight artists every couple of weeks or months that they like. Maybe have them rap a freestyle over a cypher, maybe do an interview, an exclusive drop on XXL or something. But I can tell you right now, with the compilation of artists that we got on this list, like, I do not care one bit to listen to this freestyle or cypher or anything. And I think that is the main problem with XXL Freshman at this point, is just people, it's not even necessarily about these artists being bad, it's just nobody cares. And with the culmination of the whole XXL brand being their freshman list every single year, you literally have to get a home run. This is what people are waiting for from XXL, at least from the track record they've created for themselves from 2016 to 2018, and just it has not hit the mark lately. And the more that you co-sign these rappers who are relatively irrelevant, they might be doing well streaming wise, but you don't know what these labels are doing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, and I think a lot of people believe this to be as well, is like some artists, because they got managers or labels that are in bed with XXL or whatever, not literally but metaphorically, they like pay to be on this list, or there's some sort of value exchange, whether it be monetary or not. And no, I'm not talking about like back alleyway type shit. So overall, I'm gonna give XXL Freshman 2023 a capital L. I don't think it's like a fat L. Like, we're not increasing the font size here, but like just put an L on it, bro. Just stop making this shit. And the more and more that they make these lists with rappers that people don't care about, at least holistically from the top 10 rappers that they choose, the less that actual rappers who are good and have a solid brand and fans actually want to see them on the list want to be on it. Like the top rappers from our side of the internet, like Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, Yeet. Actually, Sofego was on it last year, but I don't think it really did him any benefit, right? Like, you don't see them wanting to be on this list, and I'm very positive that they would have been invited, given that they are streaming more than a lot of these rappers. At least Destroy Lonely selling like 29K. That's almost mainstream, practically is already. But again, it's not up to me. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about this XXL 2023 freshman list. I like the Pierre Bourne look, but come on, man. We gotta start putting respect on his name. I know he's become a little bit less relevant through the years just because he's become more inactive, at least in the producer game where he really shines. But come on, we gotta time these artists correctly, like Ian Dior and now Pierre Bourne. There's a list of rappers where XXL gets them like a year or two after they actually popped off, and it's like at this point their career probably went down already, because if it continued on the same trajectory, they're past the point of wanting to be on XXL, because then they're giving a look to all the other rappers and deteriorating their brand. Gotta move smarter marketing wise, XXL. I'm not hating on it, I just don't understand it. But with that being said, it has been your boy Bobbalam signing off, making my own XXL list per usual. We're gonna call it BBL, probably on the next stream tonight. Tune in. Peace out, cloudy people. Nothing.